That's like case law. I want you to think of the Ten Commandments like the Constitution. And then the rest of the Torah, all of the very specific parameters that says, if a person does X, then the penalty is Y, or the blessing is Y. The rest of the law is all of the specifics on how to make sure that we actually live up to the Ten Commandments. Does that make sense? How do I live up to the Sabbath? There's a million laws about that. How do I make sure that I don't murder someone? Well, it talks about that. Like, what if I accidentally kill someone? Like, it's all written in there. And we're not going to get into that. We got to talk about the Ten Commandments, but we have to understand that the Ten Commandments are central, foundational, the very beginning of God's law. Because in Exodus chapter 20, God's relationship with humanity changes. All the way up until Exodus chapter 20, we hear about God speaking to people. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Moses. And they have a relationship with God. And God speaks to them, and then God uses them to speak to other people about who God is and what God wants. And that's how it works. Okay, like all the way up until this moment. Up until Exodus chapter 20, it's all about God speaking through a person for us to be able to understand who God was. But in Exodus chapter 20, God changes the relationship. In chapter 19, God spoke through people. But in chapter 20, it says that God spoke these words. He spoke them to everybody. The Lord is no longer telling Moses, he's not saying, Moses, go relay this to my people. Now it's literally God saying, here is my word. Here is who I am. We are going to write this down. And this law applies to all. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the king. It doesn't matter if you're a peasant. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. My law is a universal law. It doesn't matter if you're Moses or you are a servant or anywhere in between. My law is for all people. And this is transformative for society.